Check, check. Microphone. What's going down, everybody? How's it going? Got some background noise here. I want to say hello to Crystal Kite, Zelda N64 fan. Welcome. And also to Burb Boy. I haven't seen you around before, but welcome to this glorious, I mean, it was Friday night. For some of you, it's still Friday night. Technically, it's Saturday, but it was Friday the 13th on this glorious National Emergency Eve. So, it's been kind of interesting. Don't you guys think so? It's been kind of interesting. I'd be cool with all the Zelda ports, really. How come I don't have a... Yeah, I gotta switch my profile. I was about to say, where did my, Yeah, so you're in the past, or I'm in the future. Not exactly sure how that's supposed to go. Gotta switch my user. I was wondering where my save went. I was about to be like, I know I played a good couple hours into this. Maybe not even that far. Hopefully my save is still here. It might only be just the beginning. I mean, it's better safe than sorry, but after seeing what's going on in like Italy and China, I mean, they said 200 something people died just today alone in Italy, so I mean, it's not doing good there. I actually just was tweeting to somebody, I saw Rich from Review Tech USA, someone he knows that was on Twitter. They said they got the virus, and they must be younger and just ignorant, because he's like, oh, it's about the same as just a cold. I have a sore throat. I'm like, don't let that fool you. I mean, this thing could take you down. Probably not too far, but it still could take you down. I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast earlier, and it was an episode from like 3 days ago. He had this, forget the guy's name. He's like a virus and disease prevention expert. And your Pro Controller's drifting. That sucks. The problem with that is basically right up here, the plastic that's around the joystick, you get like that grinding and the dust goes in. My only advice would be to take it apart and maybe get some canned air and just kind of try to blow the dust out. I mean, some people can't help but really crank on all the edges of the sticks. I have a habit of doing that with the Joy-Con just because the thumbsticks are so small. So sometimes I got to be like mindful about not super overly grinding on it like that. So let's see, I sort of remember being in this dungeon. I was playing it on the gamepad though. And even though, I mean, I bought this game probably like a year ago, and same for the Wii U, I bought the Wii U like a year ago. And I never ended up picking this back up at all. Let's see, I think I'm going in the right area. Gotta re-familiarize myself with the controls. Man, this looks so good though right now on TV. Like, I almost can't even believe it. Because I played this back in 2003. I think that's when it came out, 2002. Freshman in high school. And I actually bought the GameCube off of somebody that I was kind of friends with at the time. 20 in your state so far? That's... What state you live in? I know you said you were at EST, so you're probably not too far from me. I mean, it seems like most of these people will be okay, but you really just, you don't know how it's gonna go. 20 cases isn't like anything to gawk at. I find it very strange though that the, you know, I was watching some of the news. Is the audio loud for what? The gameplay? Or probably my microphone? Maybe I can put the microphone back a little bit. I think that probably should be better. If not, I'll still adjust it just a little tad here. I'm kind of feeling run down myself after several days of not really getting the best sleep. I kind of starting to feel like I'm coming down with something, but I know I just need another good night's sleep. I got a decent night's sleep last night, so I just need another one of those. So I probably won't be streaming too long just because I'm not really probably going anywhere. I'm pretty stocked up on food. For anybody that follows me on Twitter, I was going to do a short video showing off my toilet paper and the small amount that I have actually out. I actually, my girl, she bought like a giant brick like last week or the week before. But I was going to do a video basically being like, hey, it's an update. I was going to show off my cupboards and show that I had food, and then I was going to go to the bathroom and show my 3 half-used rolls of toilet paper, and basically said that it's going to be the end for me, because how's anybody going to get by with only like 3 half rolls of toilet paper? That's pretty much the end of me. Instead, I just uploaded the picture of it and said that after those rolls are gone, you're going to have to use the dog. It's going to be my toilet paper. But yeah, my girl, she was heading to work. She sent me a picture of the local supermarket, and the shelf was just completely bare. And it's like, toilet paper isn't going to save you. I mean, people are buying it like ridiculous right now. Let's see, MI, that is Missouri. Michigan. M for Missouri, and then the I for the last part of the abbreviation. Michigan. Sometimes those abbreviations don't make the most sense. That's totally what a kid would do. Then again, kids do that kind of stuff even if there is toilet paper. Okay, that's the camera, that's the bottle. Alright, I think I got my bearings straight here. This is a good game though. It's pretty strange to see that 17 years later that not that many people hate it. I mean, I remember at the time, you know, I wasn't like the biggest Zelda fan. Like growing up, I mean, I played Zelda 1 and Zelda 2. When I was younger, I attempted to play Ocarina of Time. I was like 9. That game just seemed to be way too much of an undertaking. I remember watching my brother play it. You see him in that, like, I think it was the water. And I mean, he was stuck on it for he got frustrated. He put the game down for awesome months. Oh, I didn't even do that. Am I dead? So how's everybody doing tonight? With all things aside, everybody staying in, just chilling, playing games. And we at least got a bit of time. I think the craziest thing about all this shit is, you know, before I started the stream, I was watching some videos. Like earlier, I watched like Joe Rogan's podcast. And it's really bizarre just the amount of like misinformation. Well, the whole thing's even that younger person that said that they have it, tested for it, and said even him was like, it just feels like the cold. Don't worry, I'm fine. It just feels like a sore throat. And that basically everybody's freaking out over nothing, and that only old people can succumb to it. But even the guy that Joe Rogan said he had a friend who has a friend who's like a early 40s, and the guy is like a cyclist, like very athletic dude, does like a lot of jogging. I don't think he's like really a weightlifter, but he does apparently a lot of jogging, and he ended up with it, and then after just like 2 or 3 days, like he had to be put on a vent. I mean, they knock you out for that, so at that point you're pretty much, see, why did I just push that? I just totally did the same thing again. You can barely hear me still. Okay. See, this works different for different people. There's times where I'm listening to it like on my phone here, and then other people say it's too loud, and then sometimes it's the game volume isn't loud enough, or the game volume's too much. So, I think that should be pretty good right now. All I can hear is the sheep. Yeah, I was watching this other video, and it's basically right after Trump gives his speech, and this other guy, he just turns it into this political agenda about how when like SARS was a thing, the Obama administration, they didn't close any borders and how terrible of a job they did, and the dude was just totally riding Trump. And they're like, yeah, this is going to be a big point for the upcoming election. And it's just really weird that they kind of make it about that, like, almost instantly. And then they're joking and stuff, and it's just, it was really strange. I've almost never seen anything like that. So if I'm gonna be quarantined, I at least want Animal Crossing. We got 1 week to go. And I bought the game digitally so that I could have it on my system for when it actually released. But I'm almost regretting that now. I kind of wish I waited and had bought it from like the Australian eShop, because then I'd be able to play it at like maybe like noon or like 2 p.m. or something like that. So I'm kind of sad because there's going to be people live streaming it earlier in the day, and it's going to be kind of tough to just kind of sit there and wait. But that's what's going to have to happen. What do you mean if you get to stay? They're getting rid of you now? Why, Crystal Kai, have you bought it yet? I'm guessing probably not. I know you had said you wanted to go the digital route and get the game digital, just because it's easier to have it that way. I'll at some point, pending money in the economy, and if the whole world crashes, but I'll more than likely be getting that game physical as well, just because I kind of have to. Well, that's good. Well, hopefully for you, Zelda N64, hopefully, you know, hopefully your immune system's doing good and you don't come into contact with anybody. I went to the Goodwill store, like, yesterday, and I wasn't thinking anything other than, I mean, the Goodwill store is full of stuff from people's basement and garages. And like a lot of the stuff, like, mostly like clothes and stuff, not really like CDs or games, which is kind of what I go there looking for. But most of that stuff is like musty smelling. And this lady came in to sign signatures for some local community like fundraiser walk for the sickness going around. And as soon as she said that, she was like, oh, I'm here to get signatures from like the people that are working there. And like as soon as she said that, I just instantly started like, I was like, yeah, I don't feel so good right now. I was like, I gotta hurry up and get the hell out of here. And that's pretty much what I did. It was obviously just an overreaction, but as soon as someone mentioned it, I was like, yeah, I guess I don't feel so good right now, which is just kind of absurd. I forget what I'm supposed to do here. It's been a long time since I've actually played through this game. Yeah, I think if most people get it, it would be from family, but I mean, unfortunately, you have people that are going to be kind of dumb about it. Like, in just a few days' time, people are going to think that it's kind of over with. That, like, money somehow saved it. Which is totally far from the case, and hopefully it doesn't get, like, too out of hand or anything, but you just, you really don't know. 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 You really sure I gotta burn that, but I don't know how I can burn it. I can't believe that it's only a week away though for Animal Crossing. It's felt like such a long wait. You see those 2 new trailers that they got out? 2 new ones? It's kind of crazy, like they keep giving Japan all these multiple trailer drops at once. They've done it like 2 or 3 times now. Alright, I don't know how to get that chest. So I guess I'm gonna duck out of here for a minute. Let's see. Yep. No, that's not what I wanted to do. That's what it was. Forgot about the throwing mechanic. Yeah, man, it's been a long wait. Those 2 new trailers, they're pretty good. I mean, they're really showing it off. Like, with most other games, they don't really show you possibly how your town could be looking in a year or 2. They never really showed it. They kind of always show like the basic stuff. But in these 2 commercials specifically, they're showing, I'm guessing, just what your town could look like in maybe a year. 'Cause I'm guessing some of these items, it's not going to be an easy get, but it's a great selling point to the game, and they're just going all out. They're showing like wrestling rings. You can have like a wrestling ring just outside. What else did they show? I only watched them like once, but the wrestling ring was like the thing that kind of really blew my mind. I was like, damn, you can have a full-on wrestling ring with like the what do they call it? The luchador masks. They showed like the character like wearing that. And I was just like, a wrestling ring? It almost doesn't even seem real. And just after seeing it for so long, even though the game isn't out, I'm just like, I can't believe the amount of stuff that they've shown, but more so the amount of items that they put in the game. They didn't just put like hundreds of items in the game. It's seeming like they put thousands of items in the game, from clothes to different statues and rocks, different furniture. Like, you could deck out your room to look like a band rehearsal space, or it could just be like a straight up DJ spot. I mean, it seems like you could almost do like anything with it. I'm still hoping for games within games, like the like in New Leaf they had the what is it, the island, the deserted island Survival, whatever it was called. It was like the 3DS game that was on the 3DS in the game. But I'm still hoping for some kind of game within a game. I think it'd be cool. Even like some people say that they still wish that there was like a secondary amiibo festival that kind of just fine-tune the idea, and that like a board game could still be fun. I kind of agree with that. I could see, you know, how it could be good, and I still haven't even played Amiibo Festival. Like I bought it, and I've been thinking about live streaming it, but I've also been thinking about just doing a video, which I might try to get on tomorrow and just do a video and see if the game is as bad as people say it is, and then what other people who've played the game see when they see the video, and just kind of see what they have to say about somebody who's just playing it now. I think it might be interesting to just kind of do. Yeah, I'm kind of done watching anything. I think maybe there will be like one more new trailer. I don't really see that they need more trailers. It's just everyone's ready for the game to drop, and so am I. So we got about a week's wait, and at literally like this time 12:40 or 11:40 if you're wherever that you're at. In exactly 1 week, that's what I'll be playing. I might accidentally be playing that game till like sunrise, and I might have trouble going to bed, or I might take a nap and then just continue live streaming. But I can see myself doing like maybe like 3 different live streams a day for maybe the first like several days, and then hopefully I don't just fall off and get just kind of burnt out to the point where I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna kind of play this solo, because I want to keep it going. I think it'd be pretty cool to do multiple daily live streams just to try to get as much done in the game, at least at first, just to progress it along, because I don't know exactly how well it's gonna sync up to the real clock, and if it really is gonna kind of be like a similar experience for a lot of people. So I'm thinking the time travel thing just isn't happening in any capacity, so no matter what, we'll all kind of be experiencing the same types of things in the game, aside from decorating and different villagers and all those kinds of things. But like the real world clock is going to be pretty much the same for people. And I'm wondering if, say I were to play the game for like 2 hours, shut the system off, then come back in an hour, do more stuff, get more money, collect more resources, if I could potentially advance further in the game quicker than other people can, or if it's going to be the same type of progression almost no matter what you do. So I'm kind of curious to see how that plays out, because there's still a lot of things that they haven't explained. They've shown a lot of items, they've shown a lot of the world, but they haven't really shown the way it progresses. And I mean, there's been the people that got to play like the demo, or series of demos. There was 3 different demos that they let people play, and those were basically like save files that Nintendo curated, I guess you could say. And the first one really was like the beginning tutorials with not much going on. The second, well, actually I think there was more like 4 demos, where the second one was more like a little bit further, and then the third one was even further than that. But they forced you to play multiplayer with the people, like the representatives standing at the station. And then it kind of seems like there was like this 4th demo that was kind of behind closed doors, and that the few people that reported on it, it seems like they got to play it for right around an hour, and I think they weren't able to really talk about it, but they said that they saw the terraforming and that they could say that they did see the terraforming, but they couldn't actually talk anything about it or what they seen. And I honestly don't think that they saw much. I think they just got a little bit enough of a taste of it to not fully understand it, but also not to be able to like speculate on it or say anything about it. Do I know Filthy Frank? I should watch his life hacks. The ending is dark as hell. So tell me, Zelda N64 fan, what systems do you have? Because I know you told me you're like 22, 23. So I mean, you're old enough to probably have had, obviously, a N64, right? So I'm guessing you probably played that when you were a kid, but I don't know if you're too much into retro or if you still like have access. But if you said you don't have any games left to sell, that doesn't necessarily mean you don't have systems. See, I'm glad that I kept all my systems. I've had my fair share of trading games. Like I wish I still had the when I bought this GameCube used off of somebody, I wish I bought one brand new, because goddamn, those things were $99. If I had bought that, like, I would still have the box for it, and the thing would be in better condition than the GameCube I have, because I bought it off of somebody, and it was scratched up, and I basically always kept it in a decent box, and I haven't scratched it up one single bit more than it was scratched when I got it. The only thing that happened was I think my cat had chewed a little bit on the cable for the controller, and so I like wrapped it in like electrical tape, so there's still like a little like cut mark in the controller cable, and a little bit sticky from putting electrical tape on it, especially in the summer when electrical tape like melts, stuff melts off of it. So anyways, when I bought the GameCube, I got the Wind Waker, and then it also came with the, I didn't have the Zelda Collector's Disc. I'm guessing the kid got rid of it, but he had the Ocarina of Time along with the Master Quest. He had that. And I had that when I got this system. And I played a bit of it, and I always was like, you know, I probably won't play the Master Quest. There's like backwards dungeons, items are in different places, they've switched some of like the doorways. I'm still not exactly sure just how many different things that they changed. I know it was like a decent amount, because it was enough to warrant calling it the Master Quest. Why? What games do you have? You have N64 games, but you don't get much. Probably not. Most of the 64 games, unless you're selling them to the right person. I mean, you pretty much need like Pokemon Stadium or like in-box copies. But if you just have cards, you're not gonna get like a ridiculous amount for really any of those. And my most valued 64 card that I probably own is, it's probably Majora's Mask with the it's like the launch version with the, it doesn't just have the regular sticker, it's got like the 3D like lenticular where you move it and kind of mess with it. I want to get at some point, hopefully my brother's, like he kept the boxes for the 64 games. At the point he was pretty much buying the games brand new and playing them. By the time I bought a 64, I was playing his games, and the system had already been out for long enough. I had already played enough of it at friends' houses and stuff like that. GoldenEye for $3, that's not bad at all. See, what I do, and I don't have a problem doing it, is I'll trade my most current Switch games to like GameStop. Because like right now, I bet if you check GameStop, you could probably get $45. Sometimes it's like $38. Sometimes it drops down to like $35. But for the most part, you can most of the time get like between $38 and like $44 or $45 trade-in credit. Ooh, berries. For like Smash or Odyssey, Mario Kart 8. Like Pokemon Let's Go. That one was worth a bit for a time, but since the new one came out, Sword and Shield, Let's Go took a hit. You'll only get $22 from GameStop for that. But I'll basically, like, when Let's Go first came out, I bought the thing, I bought the Pokeball, and I played like 50 hours, and then I just sold the thing onward to somebody. And I also did the same with Yoshi's Crafted World. I pretty much beat it, and then I sold it to a guy up the street for like $40 or $50. Because the game was only like 5 or 6 days old. Maybe it was like a week or whatever. I sold it. And then I figured it doesn't really bother me that much. Like I've rebought Smash like 2 times. And Smash was kind of more dumb because you'd still be paying full price for it. But if I trade something like, say, Fire Emblem 3 Houses right now, that game's still holding its value. I bet you could probably get $38 for it at GameStop. And then in 2 or 3 years, you'll probably be able to find a game on discount. Maybe on eBay or even something like GameStop when the Switch's hype has died way down. You'll probably find the game for like $20. Or even digital at some point. So at that point, I don't mind because we're getting to like the last of some of the true physical like deals. And who knows how much longer GameStop will be around. And if they're eventually just going to cut all ties with trying to trade stuff, I mean, that's how they make their money. But at this point, they're taking unopened stuff and opening it and then calling it used. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to swindle people. So I don't know how much longer they can keep doing that and trying to buy games from people. Hurry up and die. I'm guessing he's got like 1 more hit, 2 more hits. It's getting so sick. See, I really wish, like, it makes you wonder if the Wii U was halfway successful, what would the Switch look like right now? Would they have possibly rolled out more of their classic stuff? Or would we have something like Wind Waker HD on the Switch? Would they have bothered putting, like, say, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze? Would they have bothered putting that on the system? Chameleon Twist 2? Really, I didn't know that there was a 2. I don't think I've ever heard of that. You're lucky you have retro shops. Like I said, I have one that I'm not even sure is still open. Then mean to look online and go take a trip there. It's like a good 40-minute drive though. And for all I know, they have like terrible beat-up product and they probably are wanting top dollar for it. And that's one of the things I hate mostly about like GameStop is that it's not the same as like a convention. I mean, right now I could go to my GameStop. Like when I first got the Wii U, this title right here was, I want to say, $15 or $20. I paid $20 for it, and I actually saw it just the other day, or like last week at GameStop, and it was $29.99. Because now it's been a bit of time. They're not making any more copies of this. This game is wanted, and if you're trying to actually play it on actual hardware, I mean, it's not coming to Switch anytime soon. So the game has gone up in price. But basically, I got this copy here. Disc is in perfect shape. Case is in perfect shape. It's got the little inserts, which aren't really much. It's at least got the hardware copy. And then the other day, there's for $29.99. Not really complete. Like, it didn't have the little Wind Waker insert. And the back of the cover art was like, it was missing half of the back of the paper. So someone had taken it out and just ripped off the back half of it. And there's no bartering. There's no like, okay, you want 30 for it? Well, it's ripped, so I'm gonna give you 22 for it. It's just not an option, and I didn't even. Someone opened up the back of the case. Chances are the disc probably wasn't cared for. Even though it's really hard, and I don't own many Wii U games, but it's been rare where I've seen a Wii U game with any type of scratch on it. The discs are. A lot of people don't want to play the Wii U, but there's a lot of Wii games that you can find that you know nobody has really played. They've just been getting transferred from place to place, from dorm to car to basement to living room to the Goodwill store, bought by somebody, used, brought back to GameStop, somehow bought again, put back into the attic for the past 15 years. And the case will be decimated. The inside of the case will be like perfect, and the bottom of the disc will be like destroyed, or it'll be perfect, and then the top of the game, where the actual like, data part is, there'll be like a big like gouge in it, making the game totally unplayable. It's like when I first started the channel, I had a GameStop pickups video that I did, and I bought Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles for the Wii, and the top of the disc is just like some of the data is missing, so the game won't even play off. Like, it's in pretty rough shape, and I paid like $10 for that. And it was the same when I got Mario Galaxy. I think I paid $10 for that, but I was at the GameStop that was like, I took like a special trip, and I went like an hour away, somewhere that I haven't been back since, so I didn't bother returning it. And luckily the disc worked, but the bottom of the disc itself is pretty desolate. Oh, man. Crap. So yeah, I never played any of the Chameleon Twists. There is, however, and I've been trying to get further information on it. So you have EverDrives, you have all sorts of EverDrives. You have the EverDrive 64 cartridge, which there are like Chinese knockoffs of the one the official dude did, which is the guy like Crix. His actual one, I don't think he's making it anymore, but that thing goes for like $1.30. And you'll see it, the official one, on eBay for like $1.33, anywhere up to like $1.60, some $1.78. Like it's pretty pricey. And granted, it's an SD card and 64 card, and you can put the whole library on it. With you only need 8 gigs to literally fit like all 320 plus games onto the card. But when you go to like Google and you type in like N64 Mega Drive, you find the 340 in one red cartridge, and there's like an Etsy seller that has it for $49.99. There will be like an eBay seller that has it for like $79.99, and then there will be like another like Amazon one for $89.99. And it claims to be, and it shows the list, it has pretty much every single N64 game that there's 340 games in one. Like I said, red cartridge. Up on the top, it's got a little slider for NTSC and PAL. Sparkle, what's everyone forgot that the Wii U existed. So anyways, I actually just messaged this eBay seller because he had one for sale and he had pretty good reviews on him, so I contacted him. I asked, I'm curious to see this thing, because when it comes to, when you type in 340 in one N64 cart, it'll pop up. It'll be one of the top like 10 results, but you will also see a couple EverDrives. You'll also see the Chinese EverDrive knockoffs, which look pretty much, they're identical, but those ones will go for like $70 as opposed to the 140, 30, 180. And the cheap Chinese ones, people say to stay away from them just because they're made cheaply. So even though the EverDrive isn't an official product, you still have people ripping it off and charging like a third to like a half of what the actual value is from the real guy that made them. Like I said, I don't think he makes them anymore. So I contacted the seller, or no, so anyways, you type that in, and you'll also find a few. There only seems to be a few multi-cart N64. Like there's the Mario Party one. It'll have like Mario Party 1, 2, and 3, Super Mario 64, Super Mario 64 with some mods to it. And then there's a couple others that are on it. It'll be like a 13 in one, and it'll have like Super Mario 2. And then there's a few other games, and I saw a video on that one specifically. And that cartridge looks like it plays pretty rough. Like the Mario 64, it wasn't smooth. The frame rate was probably in like the 15s. Like it was pretty bad. It was pretty much unplayable. And then there's also another one that's basically the same thing. There's like two of them. You can buy like two of them together. There's like the Mario Party one, then there's another. It says Mario, and then it's got like, I don't know, 30 something games on it. But they both look like they run terribly. So the 340 in one, I'm like, damn, if that thing worked halfway decent, like you would hope it would, then $50 isn't bad to basically, if you have a N64, you have the whole library right there. So I contacted the seller. I asked him, how does this thing run? I haven't seen any videos. Like when you go to YouTube, you go to Google, you type in 341 or 340 in one N64 multi-cart. There's no reviews for it. There's no YouTube videos for it, which is, there's a YouTube video for everything on this planet. So to see that there isn't one for that kind of blew my mind. So I asked him if, you know, I've seen like other videos. I wanted to know how it ran, how the frame rate was, if there was any glitches, or like what the frame rate was, resolution, is there any other like anomalies, does it crash for certain titles? And he responded back in like an hour, and he said that he didn't ever play it, he's just selling it. But he did send me pictures of his TV, or there's somebody else's pictures, just pictures of the TV, and it shows like random pictures like of like the Banjo-Kazooie menu screen. And you can't get a sense of how well it plays, like how well the emulation is. And I mean, for $49.99, I thought about getting it just to see. And if it's really that bad, trying to get my money back. It's kind of just one of those things that's like, it's got me interested, but there's almost no info on it. There's no Reddit posts on it, and any of the 340 in one, they're all the same exact cart. They're red. It's like a giant rectangle. It's not rounded off at all, and it has the NTSC and PAL switch on the top. And I can't find any info on it. It's kind of like, damn, because it could turn out that it plays just fine, or even if like a fraction of the games played fine. But for 50 bucks, and then some sellers are selling it for, like I said, like 75. The guy I contacted, he was on eBay. His was for sale for $74.99. And then there was like another Etsy seller for $89.99. Then there was also another Etsy seller for $49.99. And even the reviews, they're all reviews. They're all like the BS reviews, like item worked as described, shipped promptly, working great, and some other ones that have like really poor translations. Of course, the things coming from like Jianghua, some other province, and then it's just China, and that thing could take forever. It is like the Wii Fit. What's a WII U? I really wish, you know, I wish a lot of the Wii U games kind of stayed on the Wii. I mean, really, eventually it's just going to come down to the system being sought after. And I can see in 3, 4, 5, 6 years, the Wii U selling for like 500, 400 bucks. It's not going to be super cheap, especially because people are going to be holding on to these things. I think people have wisened up to that whole thing. You know, the 64s themselves used to be cheap. And I've been trying to just find, I wanted to just get a shell for mine to make mine either like the ice blue or like see-through orange, like one of the old schools, but you can't just find the shells. But what you can find is the Japanese version of the consoles for much cheaper. Like you can find a boxed N64 with like multiple controllers. You can find that for like 60 bucks. Whereas you go to find the American console, and they've gone way up in price over just the past few years. I've seen like videos from a few years ago, people saying that they got like a pretty good next to new, or in some cases even like a box 64 with a controller or two, like the see-through ones for like 60, 70 bucks. You used to be able to get that on eBay, but in the past like 2 or 3, 2.5, 3 years, the N64 has gone way up in price, like triple. So that's kind of a bummer. Come on, let me up. 'Cause I'm to the point now where I have a pretty vast PS1 library. I'm still trying to figure out how to get ROMs onto my PS1 Classic. But after that point, I would probably just play games on that because it's in HD. I mean, I'll still bust out my PS1 every once in a while. As for GameCube, I've been playing the games on Dolphin. I've tried hacking this thing to get them to play on the tablet. And just basically the Wii U tablet, the power, and the large tablet. And then you have a GameCube in your pocket. As well as Wii, you can also load up the Wii games on it. But I've just been playing GameCube games on Dolphin. I'm waiting to see the, I will check that out. It sounds interesting. It might be my style. It might not be though. Block Quest Master. It's like one of those things where I'll just forget about it afterwards, because I won't think about it again. But it's kind of like with the Dreamcast. I've been burning games for that. I actually was going to play Dreamcast tonight, but I didn't realize that there's a lot of the HD adapters that they have. I mean, it doesn't make it HD, it just kind of passes through the VGA to be able to work on a, okay, I already found that, so why am I over here? It just passes it through so that it can work on an HD TV, but it's in 480i. And the Elgato doesn't accept that. just won't do it. So now there's another Dreamcast adapter that's basically a no-name, no brand. It's like 25 bucks, and that thing works with the Elgato. Whereas the actual name brand with some kind of name on it, like these ones literally don't have a name on their product. It's just a no-name. It's kind of a bummer. Especially now, if you guys go to like Amazon and you just pick any item and you put it in your cart, when you go to see how long it's going to take to get to you, like this whole national threat deal, it's I think at least ruining Amazon for a minute, because the other day I clicked on something and I wanted to see if it was starting to affect ship dates. Pretty much nothing's being shipped out if it's not from sort of locally, or at least like in the country. Because I selected this other HDMI adapter plug-and-play solution for the Dreamcast to see when it would show up. And it basically says you can get it from, I want to say it said like March 20 something, or like April, like the first week in April to like mid-May. So anything you were to order now, chances are you're not getting it for a good month and a half. I mean, that doesn't mean that some stuff won't get through, that right now stuff that was ordered 2 weeks ago isn't showing up now, but like going forward for the next few weeks, it doesn't seem like they're going to be allowing probably much to come through. And so it's basically like if I were to order another Dreamcast adapter just to be trying to stream with, it's probably going to take 6 weeks to show up at least, at like bare minimum. So that's kind of a bummer, because I was really looking forward to streaming Dreamcast. I mean, I still can. I can go back to the closet. But after plugging that adapter in and seeing, like, I first turned on Raven, and as Hydro Thunder doesn't work, I tried finding another version that I can burn that's like an earlier version that does support VGA, but you have to use like a bootloader disc to kind of force it into 240 so that it'll actually load up on the TV, or because it wants to do 480i, but it's the Dreamcast is weird when it comes to that, because it's doing VGA, and basically without a VGA box, which almost seems like a good way to go at this point. Even there's some newer ones that they're not really passing through as HDMI, they're basically staying as VGA, and then you could plug HDMI into it. Most newer TVs, and still the Elgato doesn't do 480i. But so, no matter what I did, Hydro Thunder with this adapter, it starts to want to play, and then it just kind of flickers, and then every like 4 seconds the screen goes black for 3 or 4 seconds, and then the screen turns back on, but it's completely unplayable. You can't race in a racing game while doing that. And that's a bummer. So to play that game, man, I suck at Zelda. That's just how it goes. I just kinda suck. I'm tired too. It's been quite an eventful day. Don't know what to say. I didn't get very far with this, but I definitely want to keep playing this. This is a great game. It looks great right now. Much better than the GameCube. Well, I guess if you had component cables. But I could always be streaming GameCube games from Project Dolphin, which I started messing around with that on my PC, and it looks pretty good. especially I've been playing like all these games that I've been playing before. So there's a lot of games that came out back in the day that I knew existed, but I just wasn't really super interested in them. And then like stuff for PS2 would come out, or the original Xbox. And then for a while I kind of wasn't really gaming. I was kind of more playing drums. So like, even though I had a GameCube, I kind of missed out on some of the best stuff for it. I played Ocarina of Time, and I played this, and I played a bunch of Mario Kart, but I never really played like, I mean, I had Mario Sunshine, I traded it, and that was stupid because that was like a brand new copy. But I also played like the Twin Snakes. But it wasn't until just like recently that I bought like Animal Crossing. I was starting to play Wario World, and that's a pretty cool game. I hope that they come out with another Wario World. What are you barking at? Nope, that's one I have downloaded, but I haven't played it yet. I downloaded Mario Baseball and Mario Strikers. Those are all games that I never played. Maybe at some point I saw them, but honestly, none of my friends had GameCubes. It was basically PS2. But for a bit, I was like one of the only people out of my friends at the time that had the original Xbox. One of my other friends, he got an Xbox. One of my other friends, he tried coming over to my house every day because I had an Xbox. And then I'm not even sure what happened to it. I ended up selling the thing for like, I want to say, to go to a concert, but I thought that was a guitar that I sold. I don't even remember exactly who I sold the Xbox to. It might have been that I sold the Xbox and the guitar to the same person. And usually, like, I remember stuff like that because it was maybe 11, and I got my N64, and I remember who I bought it off of. It's like, I remember exactly who that is. I remember who I bought my GameCube off of. For some reason at that point, the only brand new console that I had gotten in the box was, I mean, I guess like the Virtual Boy and like the Game Boy and the Game Boy Pocket. But those were like, when I was like much younger. And aside from that, I mean, I bought my Xbox brand new. I wish I still had an Xbox. That thing is a great mod machine. And like retro gaming machine. Especially if you have like the component cables. Or even some of the newer stuff. I mean, you can pretty much put some of everything on that and have it be looking great. Play with the controller. And be like a component on old school CRT. Like, I imagine that'll kind of always hold up as one of the best home console for like home and just like modding all sorts of different stuff on it. Not exactly sure that I've ever seen like GameCube playing on it, but I don't doubt that it could. That it exists. And that would probably be pretty cool playing GameCube in component on the Xbox. I'm hoping someday I just come across like a score. I was talking to someone the other day, they had a Dreamcast for sale. I'm like, I already got a Dreamcast for sale, but I asked if he had anything else, and he never hit me back up. Which is kind of a shame. I'm hoping at some point someone would just want to sell like a lot, or like a system with a bunch of games for like $30. It's full of like something there. Custom Robo, I don't think I downloaded that one. Or no, actually I do think I did. I downloaded like probably a good like 70 games. And I was starting to tackle through some of them when I had them on the Wii, but the Wii only lasted for like 2 days while I was trying to go to different Reddits and forums, and different things apply to different ones and different updates. It's kind of like when I put Nintendo on the Wii U to try to get it to work on the tablet. And they're like, oh, as long as you can get the homebrew launcher on your screen, you just go into it, you go into Nintendo, and I got that far. But then when I went to update it, it says that you need like the DLC patcher. So then I'm like reading up on that, and I go back to the homebrew launcher, and I download the thing that it says to me, and then it says that you'll just kind of click update, and it should work. And for whatever reason, it won't. And it just won't launch the version of Nintendo that I had. So I tried like several different ones. Shut the system down, like you press reset, and it goes out of like the virtual Wii back to the Wii U, and you shut the system off, and you put your SD card back in, you put your SD card back into the PC, and delete the files, and re-download them, re-put them back on, and then you gotta put it back in the Wii U, turn the Wii U on, go back to the virtual Wii side, and then when it doesn't work, you gotta like hit reset, and it comes back out of the virtual Wii, back to the Wii U, then you gotta shut it off, and then take it out, put it back in there. After doing that like probably at least 25 different times over the course of 2 or 3 days, and then after the Wii dying, I got F-Zero GX. That's a pretty great game. And there's a patch out there to be able to play the there's like some extra levels that were for the 64DD. Or no, I think they were the ones for GX, which is the game. And if you look into it, there's like another. It's not really a F-Zero game, but it's kind of like a collection of different levels that were for the Saturn View, I think, which was for the. It wasn't for the Super Nintendo. I want to say that there was like a version of it for the 64DD. Because in that game that was for the 64DD, you were supposed to be able to make your own tracks. Some of that stuff survived and people have like unearthed it. There's some versions of that, but there's like a collection of kind of like the lost levels. I think it's like 6 different levels, and they gave it a name to it. And I know you can play it. It's not like an official or anything. I forget what they actually called it. I wanted to try it out at some point, just to see what it would like. Hopefully a new F-Zero comes along. It's like I was saying to someone earlier, because they were talking about Pikmin 4 coming out. But from what I heard a few months back, it seems like almost 100% confirmed that we're getting Pikmin 3 on the Switch, which just means that the next game is just that much further out. And they're like waiting on purpose. But as much as I love Miyamoto, I mean, he created Zelda and friggin' Mario, he's also stood in the way of like a lot of different things happening. He's poked his head in on games and been like, well, maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that, and having it kind of like reset the whole game. And he also did that with F-Zero. He basically said that there was nothing new to bring to the series, which it's like, I mean, props to not just rehashing the same thing, but at the same time, I mean, it's been 13 years without F-Zero. Like the GBA in like, what, 2004 or 5 was probably the last game, so it's been a long time. He basically said that there wasn't much left to bring to the table, or nothing new exciting that they could really think up of, and basically without a new controller interface, he just didn't think that there was much more to bring to the table. It's like the Wii U tablet, like a new controller interface, or like what about the Wiimote? I mean, that was like a new controller / interface. exactly sure what he meant by that, but it kind of seems like he like cock-blocked the thing just by saying that. And since he's like a industry vet, they just were like, well, you know, Miyamoto, I mean, the guy knows what he's talking about. He's an industry vet, so it just doesn't seem like anybody really tested him on that. They were just like, well, maybe he's right. I guess F-Zero's dead. It's like, what a shame. I mean, we could already have a new F-Zero by now. And that would be awesome. I mean, F-Zero could have worked on the Wii U. Could have worked on the Switch. Could have worked on the DS. Could have worked on the 3DS. I forget the other name to the other GBA one. It's on the virtual console on the Wii U here, and I look at it every now and then because there was the oh, what's the name of it? I always forget the name because there's the GX, and I always forget the one. I always forget the name of the N64 one, like, because I thought there was a subtitle. Then there's like I forget the names of the ones on the Game Boy Advance also. There's two of them. GP Legend. And I think that one's regarded as the lesser good one of the two that are on the Game Boy Advance. I see why at this point they don't just put out just a straight port on the Switch of all the F-Zero games. Because they'll see that the thing will sell like 6 million, probably something like that, and then they'll finally see that there's some, GP Legend and then Maximum Velocity. See, I played GP Legend, I want to say, but like the Game Boy Advance is another system that I never had. I'm doing terrible at this boss. I don't know. Am I supposed to have like the bow and arrow at this point? I feel like I'm like the bosses in this game are super easy, so I'm clearly doing something wrong. I need some health. There we go. It's actually B. Like, B is the main attack. I want to say it is A on the actual GameCube, but it's so simplistic. Like, that's pretty much, you just press A, and then he kind of does the, or if you're locked on, he'll do the jump, but you can do, like, the side strafe, but you don't actually decide, like, what attack you do, like, what strength it is. Why did I do that? I just kind of want to kill him and get it over with, but I'm not strong enough, I guess, or something. Well, it's A to pick up, but then it's B to attack. Or, I mean, it says it keeps jumping between. Like when you walk, you can push A to roll. last run I had, I want to say I probably hit him like 15 or 20 times in a row. And it just didn't really kill him. But like I'm supposed to wait. I guess I'm just used to Breath of the Wild where it's kind of going crazy. So I think I'm supposed to like charge up the attack, I guess, and wait. Something. It's really see when that happens. I know I'm supposed to, I guess, jump on and off the little island. So you're right, I'm so used to not looking for like button prompts, and I mean, even though this game was kind of broad for speed, it's still like these kind of playstyles, they don't really exist anymore. Oh, stupid. I think I died. Yeah, it is a jump slap. It only works for like certain enemies at certain times. I kind of forgot that it was a thing, that it had even existed. I would have sat here doing that all night if you never said anything. But right, I think this little island is supposed to slide over there, or like... I guess it didn't really matter that I just beat him. So concentrated. It's really hilarious. I remember like hating having to do that repeatedly in the original. Now it's like you almost don't even have to use it. You do it once, and then you can just kind of that was very smart. I definitely was making it much harder than it needed to be. Like I said, I was just kind of focusing on him moving his stupid arms out of the way and trying not to fall off the little ledge. But see, it's like, okay, I did that, and I guess that's it. Or he comes back. Really, like, games are so easy now that it's like you don't think about, like, just this old school style of play. Like, a lot of this stuff doesn't exist anymore. They did away with it to make it easier, even though a lot of this stuff wasn't really that hard. It's just more paying attention. But some of these older games, you go back to it. I don't know, there's something about some of the like mechanics that they're just like old school feeling. They just don't do that stuff anymore. Now I'm totally lost. I'm supposed to leave the room, and he comes back, so I'm not sure. I mean, once you get going in this game, it's really easy. It's probably the easiest Zelda game there is. I'd be totally cool with Wind Waker 2. I think now a lot of the crotchety people, like a lot of people that would have like complained about this game when it was initially released, most of those people don't even play video games anymore. They thought they were cooler than that, and they had kids, and now they hate their lives. Not that having kids makes you hate your life, but there's a lot of people that I know, if I said, like, yeah, I still play drums, I got it in my drum set, I still play guitar, I play video games, you know, streaming on, like, YouTube and stuff, they'd, like, look down their nose and be like, you know, what are you, still 12? And I'd be like, absolutely. Like, just because you got old when you were 22, hated your life sense, doesn't mean that everybody's got to do that. Alright, I think I'm gonna try waiting. Maybe there's something else, like I'm supposed to ride him through the lava or something. I even think just taking this straight art style, maybe making Link older so that he's a little bit taller and more slender. Maybe a little bit of changed art direction. I would be super cool with that. Like maybe not Wind Waker, but like the something Waker. Maybe if it was just in a similar art style. I mean, I doubt they would ever do that again. Maybe if there was some extra idea for this, like laying around, maybe. Alright, I'm just gonna jump into this. See, so I'm supposed to, I guess, go around. There's like a missing doorway I didn't catch on to or something. I don't know. This is a great game, though. It would be cool if they brought it to Switch. Alright, the giant bird cage. I mean, God, it's really been since like 2002 or 3 since I would have even played like the beginning part of the game again. Pretty sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see how good Toon Link looks up close. I always loved his facial expressions. That was always the Still gotta be Ocarina of Time. I'm trying to play that on the 2DS. If I had like a 3DS capture or something, I would maybe stream that. 'Cause that's a game I never beat. I've really not played much of that. I've seen a lot of it. I watched my brother play it back in, 1998. Like I said, at that point I was only like 10, 11 years old. One of the one of the pots. Let's jump in here. Yeah, and it's like I said, I mean, this game is not hard by any stretch of the imagination. It's probably the easiest Zelda game that exists. You still got your WII U? I mean, I want to say it's $20. So that's not too bad. And like I said, or you could go to GameStop and pay $30 for one with a shredded cover and all of that. Let's see, I think I already went down here. Classic fun Zelda, even though I'm like being stupid right now and I don't know exactly what the hell I'm doing. Like, it's really not that hard. It's just been a long time since I played this. It's like, especially like here, like some of the ways that these parts wrap around, it's just kind of odd. Take that. I didn't think I could make that. Yeah, those are the water pots. You can take them and throw them at stuff. But I didn't actually see any. I guess I get what you're talking about now in that other room. See, that was like the farthest I made it though. So I guess that makes sense. And you're probably right, just because it's so stupidly dumb and I just wasn't thinking of it. So I'm more at this point thinking of like with the little scorpion dude. I'm like, I was thinking of like the bow and arrow from Breath of the Wild. I'm like, right, shoot him in the eye with a hook shot. But like, this isn't that game, so okay, it just came from this way. I guess I'm gonna jump down this thing. See ya. No, I forgot that. I'm pretty sure you're actually right about that. Okay, so it's not this way, it's this way. Yeah. See, these aren't the same ones. But let's go back up and see what's going on up there. Because yeah, I was just sort of slicing through them. So you are correct in that. So close. Just once again, jumped directly. old school. It's ridiculous. See, now I recall throwing this into the fire to make this like black stone. But every move that I make, I just keep falling back into the fire, and I'm gonna die at these points. See, it's like it's so dumb, and it's easy, but I just wasn't thinking of the pods. Every time I walked in, I just sort of sliced them down and didn't think twice about it. It's like the same with climbing. I'm like, I was wanting to push like X to like use my stamina, but there is no stamina. And climbing on ledges, Link just kind of grabs onto them. And when you want to pull yourself up, you push up. It says press A to let go. And instinctively, I'm just pushing A and letting go and following. Just like that. A is to roll. But I was trying to pick that thing up. And instead, see? And I just keep making the same mistake over and over. Yeah, Zelda's definitely full of tedious moments. I still think I gotta go back. It's almost 2 in the morning. I swear these days just keep flying by, which is a good thing for Animal Crossing. I really can't wait to play that. You guys might never see me again after that. Okay, so there's no way I'm getting over there, and I think if I jump in here, it's just gonna take me back to the main room. See, I don't recall those jars exactly being like that in the original. Maybe I'm wrong. I didn't think there was any type of warp. I thought it was... Maybe they've added that in. Like, it's been so long since playing the original that when you see it here, you don't really think twice about it. Because they did make a lot of improvements. So that might be something that they added in. I'm not exactly sure. Like, I want to say maybe there was one to where, like, that pot was there, it didn't do anything until after you, like, beat the boss. Like, and it would transfer you back to the, pretty much the entrance of the quote-unquote dungeon. So, maybe that is a change. I have to throw a bomb perfectly. You gotta do that quite a few times. See, right as I read that, I almost went, I almost just thought the GameCube version, and I was like, yeah, duh. That's like what this game is, that's what we're talking about. See, so now I just jumped back into the jar and it just brought me back here. So now I guess that. Yeah, it just says that it's reborn. The gyroscope makes aiming a breeze. Keep your maps always at ready. Enjoy off-TV gameplay using the gamepad. Write a letter. Put it in a tingle bottle and send it out to sea, to be found by other players. See, I always found it strange when I first saw this, because like they never used any of that art in the original. Like I want to say even the second pressing of the GameCube version was more of just like the logo, but it wasn't shining. Because I have the original right here, and it's got Link on the boat, which you can just barely see, and it's like, even though the case is beat up, it's shiny. But like none of the art that was on here did they ever use. I mean, even like the color of like the ship is quite a bit different on the older version. Like the colors of his face are just like a different tone altogether. And then same for the back. It's like they cleaned him up a lot. Like they rounded his face out. If you look at these two screenshots right there. On the GameCube version, his face is like wider and more square, whereas on the Wii U they kind of rounded his face out to give it like that classic style that I think most people seem to think that they remember. But like even his hair on the Wii U, they gave him more of a V kinda on his right up above his eyebrows, and on the original it's just straight across. Like the texture for it is missing because the color isn't quite that yellowish with the black on it, with that bright green urine yellow color coming, that's supposed to be like reflecting off of his tunic. I don't know, it's much different. Hot, 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 hot. See, I did the same thing again. And yeah, this game's got like a lot of smaller corridors, and even though it's not like really it's the lack of a jump button. Like a lot of the buttons don't do anything, but the lack of a jump button was something that really always made me mad about this game, because it's just a random jump. Like you get to the edge and he jumps, you're climbing stuff and he just decides to jump. You don't really get a say, and especially after playing Breath of the Wild. I mean, your finger's always on the jump button, even if you're just running on flat. Like you can't help but press X and start jumping. See, I just pressed X and that's what I did. It was something with the levers. Oh, God, that the stairs come out from under you. Yeah, Twilight Princess seems not quite as much. Probably put just character though, realistically. I mean, I guess this game they kind of originally made it with the or no, I guess in Japan they didn't have the component cables. But I'm guessing they still kind of made it to look as good as it could, and then by the time it got on the system, itself didn't look as good, so maybe it wasn't too hard to just kind of recolorize everything, but they stretched like the whole aspect really goes into that, and obviously there's no small project. I just wonder how painstaking it really is. May or may not have actually been. Oh, it of course looks way better. See, I always get Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword mixed up because isn't there an HD version of both of those? Because basically Twilight Princess came out on the GameCube, which I started playing that on the Dolphin emulator, and I know they have the HD version. I wish I bought it for the Wii U. They had it at GameStop a while back, and I want to say it was $30, and I just saw it at my local GameStop, and I want to say it's like 40. Maybe it's more than that. I might just end up saying screw it. See, I went to go Breath of the Wild jump. See, and then they have the Skyward Sword HD on the eShop on here, and it's $49.99. So I guess buying it physically for that price. See, that's kind of shitty of Nintendo, because they must know that there's plenty of people that either didn't want the Switch, or some people, there's just new systems come out and they still just stick with what they got. And I'm sure there's plenty of people that still just have the Wii U. Maybe occasionally they buy like a virtual console game. They got Breath of the Wild and they're cool with that. But for something like Skyward Sword, like being like $49.99 still, it's like, you know, it's kind of ridiculous. 'Cause there's so many people that just got the Switch and then they just talk about how the Wii U is like covered in dust. And I'm like, I still have been meaning to do a video. I'm gonna have to do it at some point about getting the Wii U because it's still worth getting. Like it never was not worth getting, and especially now with the virtual console. Like there's plenty of good games, especially if you don't have like a 3DS or maybe you had like a Wii or even like a GameCube, but now all you have is the Wii U. I mean, you can get Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time, and you can get like Yoshi's Story and like Kirby, and there's Paper Mario, and there's Wave Race 64. Going back to the Super Nintendo, there's plenty of good stuff on the Super Nintendo. You can get Mario Galaxies 1 and 2, and you can get all 3 of the Pikmins. Or no, yeah, you can get the Wii versions. About this and Twilight Princess. I mean, honestly, it's like one of the best places to go. All the Marios, there's plenty of Marios you could play, especially because they have they got the different ones from the Game Boy Advance, and of course Mario 64, and like I said, Galaxy 2. There isn't Sunshine, but there's everything besides Odyssey. I mean, it's honestly one of the best places to play. Not all of Nintendo's greatest stuff, but the bare, great essentials. I'm going to do a video on that. Disappeared, he turned right into dust. There was no actually. That's what I was wondering. But alright, man, thank you for stopping by. I'm gonna be cutting this stream. I'm probably gonna save it right now. It's probably about time to go to bed, so appreciate you stopping by. I might stream tomorrow. I mean, like I said, school's closed, everything's closed, so a lot of videos and live streaming to do, I guess. So I appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully you have a good night, man. Next time I'm streaming or whatever, we'll see you there. Or of course I follow you on Twitter, so I didn't really look at your page to see if you post like ridiculous kinds of things on there, but if you do, then I'll catch you around. So thanks as always, man. Much appreciated. You're one of the good supporters of the channel. And hopefully at some point we get some more folks in here just to make the live streams more fun for everyone. There's a lot of people in, there's a lot of conversation going on. It makes the boringness, it takes the load off the streamers who really have to carry the whole thing. It's definitely I think it's harder to do with like a small audience to try to interact with very few people and make it interesting enough to keep watching. Grab this branch and you can hit that thing with it, and yeah. Peace out. I'm gonna use my hook shot. definitely where the gamepad is going to come in way more handy than having to hold the button and claw like that. A few modern games still kind of do that. It really don't make sense. Alright, this is one part of the game that I do remember from back in the day. Whoops. We are gonna get there, and then we're gonna end the stream, because it's been one hell of a day. We are in crisis mode right now. There's no toilet paper left. If the electricity goes out, that's gonna be pretty much that. We're gonna have no games. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to use gasoline generator. What the hell just happened to this guy? Y'all can see that? Alright. There you go. Oh, see. Yup. Jump, kick, slide, jump, kick, slide. We just got the little treasure chest. Let's go and see what all that's about. Can I actually get to there from here without dying? No? Can I do it? Hot. Hot. Right, I forgot about the old cut in the bridge. Forgot that was the mechanic of this game. Okay, so there we go. Perfect. Honestly, Wind Waker's still a freaking great game. It definitely is. These pendants are said to flock to those who spread joy like butterflies to nectar-filled blossoms. Excellent. I suppose I should save at this point. Definitely a unique game, and I'm actually really excited to be getting back into it. Now, I don't know if that's going to last that long with Aminal Crossing coming out just around the corner. He's going to have to wait and see. Let's see, where's that old cookie? remember this. The diagonal way that you got to see if you hang from that side. I'm not exactly sure how you're supposed to do this. There we go, not that hard. See, I'm starting to remember and recall the quirks of this game. So I remember you can cut some of these chains. Right, there was a bunch of, like I said, just a bunch of weird quirks to these older style of games where they were still getting like the real grip on the fully realized 3D environments. And now things have just become such a standard that unfortunately, like, these archaic types of controls, they just don't exist in the same way. Like this right here, you would just be doing like a Arkham Asylum type. One single button press, it would turn into a cutscene. You wouldn't be interacting with the jumping over the pit. And that would kind of just be it. It would just kind of end right there. You wouldn't be doing anything too special. That dang old hook shot. Alright, that is it for the end of this stream. So, if you guys are tuning in after the fact, I'm D-Dub, and I really hope that you subscribe. Hopefully you did like what you saw here. If that's the case, just leave me a comment, or you can follow me on Twitter and let me know just what you kind of think about it. There's going to be more live streams and more videos just like this coming. Hopefully you guys will tune in to that. Of course, like I said, follow me on Twitter. We got... Yeah. Exactly what I just said. We got videos coming. I'm going to be doing a Wii U video on why it's worth still getting, as a couple conversations we had here on this video tonight. Those are going to be pertaining to the video. So be looking out for that. Coming up in the future, we are 1 week. After 7-year wait, we are finally coming up onto the brand new Animal Crossing New Horizons on the Nintendo Switch. I already bought the game. I didn't get the actual special edition Switch system. Hopefully that can still happen at some time, because man, that thing looks awesome. There's been so many videos on it coming out, and it's just looking amazing. So that game's coming out. There's going to be plenty of live streams on it. I'm going to probably be doing multiple different sort of reviews, I guess you could say, on the game, impressions, all sorts of different like interviews. I want to get some people involved with some of those like interviews, maybe talking on Discord, or even like a podcast type style video where we get some Discord people, or we start taking callers, seeing what people think of the game. I want to do some very cool collaborations. I'm going to be starting to reach out to people and seeing just what they think of this game. And that's pretty much what's coming up on the horizon, is New Horizons, and I have a feeling that that's going to be kind of the main focus of the channel for a while. So hopefully at that point we will grow. If you're new to this channel, if you like Animal Crossing New Horizons, if that's your type of game that you play, or if that's the type of game that you like to see others play, you can tune in for it right here. Once again, this is D-Dub. I'm not necessarily the source, but I'm a source, hopefully your source, for a bunch of things, including the Nintendo Wii, Zelda, and like GameCube, and stuff like the Nintendo Switch and stuff like that, and reviews, discussions, product stuff, maybe some unboxings. I got a new cable to check out for the Dreamcast. Need another new one to show up so that I can actually do game capture. So scratch that, but there are other channels on the video, so go ahead and check those out. And as always, this is D-Dub, and I'm just straight up signing out. So thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this after the fact, like I said, hit me up on Twitter, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. This is D-Dub signing out, and I hope that you have yourself